all, I think I underestimated how difficult TEF could be. I felt lost, demotivated, and super exhausted. I practiced all four models actually, even though I did not really have the time.
You proved me wrong. I honestly used to think, Dilhara, prior to you, people with two jobs cannot do TEF or TCF.
She was giving
Yeah.
me constant um, feedback on my writing and speaking. She shared her notes with me. Whenever I speak out of track, she's like, I'm not really sure. I don't really understand what you said.
Dilhara has apparently scored way better than Muskan and I did. So,
Maybe still.
Bonjour tout le monde! I am super excited today to have Dilhara Pereira, a very beautiful Sri Lankan woman who lives in Calgary, in my studio today as a proud student who not only cleared the TCF with such a grand score but has already gone ahead and started helping many of my students with her wonderful knowledge. We have had her session already with my chunk of students, but today I want to share with all of you her secret story, her secret sauce, and whatever she could bring it on board today to all of you. Those of you do not know me, this is Ankita Agrawal. I am a TEF and TCF Canada coach expert. I live in Toronto and I do help lots and lots of people to clear the TEF Canada exam and the TCF Canada exam and get the Canada PR. So let's get on to the studio and let's hear her out thoroughly. Please do comment, guys, like the channel, as in like the video, and do subscribe to my channel because that ways I get to know that this content is helping you a lot, and I'm very, very happy and excited to bring more for you in future. Stay tuned and let's get on to the video with Dilhara then. See you there.
okay, so Dilhara, first of all, grand congratulations to you. And I'm super excited, super happy to have you today in our studio because this means a lot, like TCF success. And it definitely raises a hope for many people who are struggling today. So, grand congratulations, welcome.
Thank
And
you.
how do you feel about it?
I feel so relieved, and yeah, it's been a long journey of preparing for the exam.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel so happy, and yeah, right now I feel like I don't know what to do next.
Yeah.
A little goalless. So yes, that's how I feel right now.
No, I'm sure many people wants to feel that goal less.
Mm.
So you're already living
Yeah.
a dream of many today. So it sounds great and exciting. Now I want to know like a very general question that I want to
Yeah.
ask, and then many people wants to know. So a little bit touch base about on your timeline. So people who do not know about right now about your timeline, I want to just give you a little bit of a background. So Dilhara had like known French earlier. She has had little bit of a exposure. Like she completed up until B1 way back in 2013. So from 2013 till 2024, like no exposure to French altogether. So when Dilhara and I got in touch and when she contacted me for the classes, I cannot literally count her as complete beginner because she was not like I did not have to start a journey from Bonjour. But again, she was not an expert either because 10 years of long gap was there. So she had kind of forgotten a lot of vocabulary, grammar rules, and a lot of things that she had to revisit and revise. And she started her journey with us in February 2024. So, Dehara, now what were you doing that before meeting us, and what did you do after meeting us? So, if you could let us know about that, please.
Yes. So I met you in 2024 February.
Yeah.
I booked a one-to-one session with you to say that I have already booked my exam. I need your help to pass the exam. So first of all, I think I underestimated how difficult TEF could be. That's why I probably booked the exam. And then before that, I was preparing for TEF in 2023, but I have to tell you that I did not get the right coaching, the help I needed to pass the exam, because it was not the individual attention I needed. It was doing speaking or writing in a group setting, and there were complete beginners in my group. And at times I really felt bored because I already knew some stuff, like Lala Lay and, the basic stuff. So I might have spent like 5 to 4 months. Yes, not getting the right coaching and
how many people were there in the class in a group?
It was about a group of 8 to 10 people. So yeah, I would say that was a complete waste of time for me. Then only I saw your videos on YouTube, and then I was motivated to talk to you. And then we might have had like 2 months of preparation, I think. So I had this quick revision of grammar, watching YouTube videos, because that's what we discussed in the session. And then you shared your notes and preparation material with me for TEF. And I would say that we did our best. You did your best to help me for TEF. But yeah, like I said, it was not enough preparation for listening, reading, and speaking, obviously, because I was not ready to do the exam. So that was how I think I did TEF, and I did not get the correct marks.
Okay. So that is a very valid point, Dilhara, what you just mentioned. Now, I want to ask, like, how did you feel about it? Because I still remember when you came to me, we started our classes in March, and your exam was, I think, in April, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Right. So do you think that we could have turned, we could have really done a lot better in 1 month? Like, you could have scored really CLB 7 from the point that you met me? I'll tell you why I'm asking this question, because I do get a lot of students these days, honestly, Dilhara, and this is for the whole of our audience who's watching this podcast, guys. I do get people at the level of B1, sometimes A2, and then they say that they have an exam in 3 weeks, and then they say they have an exam in 4 weeks. This is my last attempt. This is my first attempt. My work permit is expiring. I have to nail it. So I want to hear from you, Dilhara. Like, how did you feel about this pressure of 1 month? What did we do, and what we could have done better?
Yes. So to answer that question, I would say no, 1 month is not really enough to get B2 plus and to clear your TEF exams, because it takes a lot of time to prepare for all 4 modules, listening especially, which is very difficult, reading, writing, and even speaking. So it takes a lot of time for you to really prepare and get that score that you need. And on top of that, you need to work on your errors. You have to revise. And I'm sure you remember, I probably might have done like intense 1 month with you with speaking, and still I was making like basic level grammar mistake. Like, I was struggling to conjugate with to and woo, and I was not using the correct the structures, the connectors. So you have to do like a lot of mock exams, a lot of writing, because it's, you have that pressure of finishing 2 or 3 tasks in within a certain window frame, like 1 hour, right? The writing exam. So yes, so definitely 1 month is not enough to go from B. Maybe I thought I was in B1, but I was definitely not, because I was doing basic level errors. So it takes time for me, at least. It takes a lot of time.
No, it does. On an average also. And you were not at B1 level. When you joined, you were actually A2 plus. Entry level B1. And I'm glad that you understood your areas of improvement. So what happened next? Once you took the TEF, and I know it did not work out, listening and speaking were the modules that you couldn't get the CLB 7. And then you took a break? Yeah. So it was a break of about month or 2?
2 months.
2 months. So guys, Dilhara took a break of 2 months as well, which is like not recommended at all, because it breaks the journey of the learning. So when you resumed, how did you feel? Did you feel like you were not on the track? Did you feel that you forgot what you learned?
I definitely did not have the motivation because I did the exam. I did not pass. I went home to Sri Lanka. I had a wonderful vacation, and then I came back, and then I really did not have the motivation to start. And I didn't really forget like the grammar and stuff, but definitely, you need a certain, a structure and a continuity in your speaking to converse with people in French. So I definitely lost track of those certain structures that I used in exam. And then while I was preparing, I think I got back to you and said, okay, I want to do TEF again. I wanted to take the exam again. And where do we go next? And then only
Yeah.
I think you suggested, okay, there's another exam called TCF. Why don't you try it out? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when I think I compared the
Shifted
two.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I took time to understand the structure of the two exams and why is it so different and stuff like that. So yes, that's when I decided to switch to TCF and prepare for TCF in probably July.
Yeah. August. I would say September
August.
rather, because
Yeah.
July maybe we had a just touch base of hi, hello.
Yeah.
And then August, you took your time to just gather your thoughts about the TCF. And September, formally, we started our classes for TCF. And yes, so that was the time. And then September, October, Dilhara was with me for TCF training. And we had like maybe one session a week only, right? That's not much because we were not rushing. The best part with you, Dilhara, was that you were patient enough that you did not want to write the exam overnight. And you were ready to invest the time in study. So, and plus, were you working all the time or you were just not working?
I was working. I was doing two jobs. So,
Wow.
one, I had to wake up at 5 a.m. because it started at 6 and it went on till 12. And my second shift started at 2 o'clock. So I didn't have a long gap. And then I came home around 7 p.m. So from 7 p.m. to night.
So now that makes me more curious to know that if you juggled between two jobs and it seems such a crazy schedule, Dilhara. So how you used to manage your routine? Do you used to touch base all 4 modules daily, speaking, writing, listening, reading, or how you used to divide your time on each module? Because you apparently scored like C2 in listening and reading. So you got to give us a secret sauce.
For me, I think I was not doing well, or I would rather say I was very bad at listening, because it was one of the difficult modules for me. So I definitely invested a lot of time for listening. Knowing that I really got bad marks for TEF in listening, I think I might have gotten like NCLC 4.
Yeah, CLB4.
Yes. So I made sure that I do listening every day. That was like one thing I made sure. And first of all, I remember I practiced listening with a piece of paper. I listen, I write down the content, difficult words. I learned the difficult words. And then later on, I was able to, just jot down, the keywords. And then for TCF, the question is not mentioned
in the exam itself.
So they ask the question
later.
At the end later. So it's kind of tricky. You have to remember the content and then they ask the question at the end and then pick the correct answer. So it was a process for me to practice listening. I used to write everything and I jot down keywords. Then I jot down the question. And later on, I was, I did not really have to take notes because I was confident enough to remember, retain whatever is in the recording and answer the question. So definitely listening took a lot of time and I devoted a lot of time for listening. For reading too, because the first few questions are, A2, A1, A2 level. It was not that tricky for me, but definitely B2 plus level questions are difficult. So again, I would again. I was able to see a certain progress in listening and reading because I used a lot of time looking at the question, reading every single word, writing down difficult words, and learning them. And then later on, you will see how you progress with a lot of practice. So for definitely for reading and listening, I spent a lot of time. And then for writing and speaking, I got a lot of help from my teachers, you and Muskan too. Even in class, I remember she gave me suggestions, you gave me suggestions. Okay, these are the better templates and the structure you can use for TCF, especially for task 3. You need to speak on for 4 minutes, and then it's important that you maintain a certain structure. So definitely I used all these structures and the correct words in my books, and I wrote down a lot of notes. Again, speaking was a difficult task because it's not easy to talk about difficult topics like
Correct.
equality of men and women for 4.5 minutes in a different language.
Yeah. And if I remember the topic which we really struggled a lot with, the farm one. If the women, would you like to work under the supervision of a man?
Men
Would you
and-
like to men or women? Men boss or women boss? What would you prefer? So that
Yeah.
was a tricky topic for us at that time when we were preparing. I remember.
Yeah. So I remember I had like scripts to speak, practice for the speaking questions. Again, started with scripts, and then I started writing points. And then later on, I really did not need a lot of writing. And yeah, it was a process for me for all 4 modules. I really saw progress in myself. So for me, I practiced all 4 modules actually, even though I did not really have the time. I made sure at least I will read a news article. So at least I will read my mistakes or revise something that I haven't done. I had already done. So I spent a lot of time on all 4 because it was not a very easy thing for me to prepare for the exam. And I really did not
really
want
awesome.
to spend again. And so
they
yes.
retake the exam. No, that's again a pain, right? You end up spending $400 for something only to know you did not make it. So no, that definitely I also don't recommend at all. But I must say that you proved me on something you proved me wrong. I honestly used to think, Dilhara, prior to you, people with 2 jobs cannot do TEF or TCF. Seriously, I used to think that way. But you made me prove wrong, and I'm so happy to be wrong here. Like if I see people like you who can really pull it off so well, like despite doing 2 jobs, so it's hats off to your efforts and dedication. Trust me. It really gives me that vibes. Oh my God, with 2 jobs, she's able to make it, because it takes time to switch from one job to another to your TCF. Okay, now this, now that, and you don't feel like you get exhausted. And there must have been time that you must be exhausted or you might wanted to give up. What did you do? How did you really gather yourself?
Yes, I felt lost, demotivated, and super exhausted many times because I had to juggle with 2 jobs and then study. But I always went back to one of the things that really motivated me was to go back to your channel and listen to podcasts with people who had nailed the exam. So I might have watched Muskan's video a couple of times, and then other students who had done TEF TCF. So I really thought, okay, it takes time, but you can do it. So so I took my time. It was a lot of sacrifice. I'm sure I might have missed a lot of summer activities we do. I like to do hiking. I did not do a lot of hiking last year.
But now the mountains are yours.
Yes.
They are yours. Yeah. The nature is yours now. But yeah, there is a very nice French saying, Sari, surmo, lentement, mais surement. That happens slowly but surely. So that has actually happened. Now, speaking of Muskan, because of course she is the one who is also the table turner for you. So guys, after she was with me, like Dilhara was with me for 2 months, September and October, and we have had like 1 class a week or so, not many. But after that, I needed some more of a regular trainings for her, and I was kind of unavailable because I was going to India for a month. So I did not want to compromise on her continuity. So I allocated Dilhara to Muskan. Now tell me today actually, why weren't you really nervous? Because I was allocating a trainer who was not even a trainer at that time, who was somebody who had just recently cleared the TCF, was a lot younger, no teaching experience. Because honestly, Dilhara, when I allocate today, and even at that time, many people declined that. Many people said, no, ma'am, they want somebody expert. And they were not wrong either, because obviously it's a matter of PR and it's a serious thing. So you did not show me even iota of concern, no question.
Yeah.
I still remember the text, hey, can I allocate you to Muskan, who just recently cleared? And you said, okay. So you had no question, no doubts, no concern, nothing.
At that time, I really didn't want to question. I didn't want to question you because I know you know the best for your students, and I know you wouldn't take rash decisions and allocate someone who is incompetent for someone who is preparing for the exam. No. So I had complete faith on you. I knew that you would give me a good teacher, and it turned to be really true because Muskan was excellent. She was new. So she was excellent. She was giving me constant feedback on my writing and speaking. She shared her notes with me. Basically her experience doing the exam was helpful for me because she gave me, okay, you are in this level, so incorporate these kind of sentences, these kind of words, then you can get C1 plus or B2 plus. So yeah, her feedback was really, really important for me. And I'm sure that's what really helped me to get the scores that I needed. No, I did not have doubts. And yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah, it does mean a lot. And I do always say, like when you started our podcast, you did mention about your previous experience that you were in a
mm,
mixed cohort of A1, A2 people. And I knew that you are not A1, A2. Like, of course,
yeah,
by September, October, you were polished towards B2 anyway. But B2 plus,
mm,
we needed a little bit of a push. So,
yes,
and I do agree, people do come to me, they want to learn from natives, they want to learn from people,
mm,
a lot of
yes,
expertise, which is absolutely fine. But
mm,
I always say, first priority should be given to the person who has taken an exam, because
exactly.
that person can actually share the experience, not just French. French is
Mm,
secondary, I feel, in these exams. It's more
yes,
of an exam technique, tips,
y-
templates that you need.
yeah,
You need
exactly.
these
I
exams,
agree.
and very less of a French.
Exactly.
French
Yes.
can be done easily. Now, let's also take a pause here because I want to invite Muskan also in the same studio so that we can chit chat with her as well and know how exactly Dilhara was as a student. So, here we go. So, hey Muskan, thank you so much for
Hello.
joining us. And it is the second podcast with Muskan. The first one was as a student.
As a
That when
student.
we were shooting the story, that how did you nail TCF and everything. And today you are here as a trainer. So just few months, right? Like maybe 3, 4 months, and you already gave the first success story, which is amazing. Congratulations. And now you tell me the secret that you instilled to make her clear TCF. And how was she as a student, and what all you want to express?
There was no secret as such, but she has been like a very diligent and hardworking student. Like she has always come to class prepared with her notebook and everything. And I've very rarely seen her repeat any mistakes. Like once you tell her, okay, this is something that's not working out, maybe you can use this, maybe you can use that. So she has always taken that feedback into account, and then she comes prepared with all of that. So that's something that I really like about her. Another thing is like, despite of me giving her notes and everything, she would write everything by hand. And that's really important. If you want to understand and if you want to memorize the mistakes that you have done, you have to write it down when the person is saying, so that you know that, okay, this is the mistake. This is something that I have to avoid. And revision is something that's really important as well. Her classes were also they were continuous. There was not a huge gap between the classes, so she was like attending she was attending at a proper time and stuff like that. So yeah, I really like to teach her because she was always been an amazing person as well. So
Yeah. And Dilhara, was Muskan ever strict with you? Did she ever like, what?
Um, yes and no.
Oh, okay.
Because when I I had trouble with task three in
Monologue.
speaking monologue. Yes. So whenever I speak out of track, she's like, I'm not really sure. I don't really understand what you said, but she would try to be diplomatic as much as possible.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So
So
yes.
my feedback is more direct.
Yes.
Don't you think you've gone out of the topic? In fact, no. I
Uh,
usually say you've gone out of the topic, and Muskan would be like, and then the more. Okay, fine. Because you were her first
yes.
student, obviously, and she did not
Yeah.
have any teaching experience. So it was more or like, okay, I hope she would not mind.
But I can read her, I can read how she feels about my monologue with her expressions. She would
very
make face.
expressive, unfortunately. People
Yeah.
can see what I feel on my face. So
Yeah,
there's no way
yeah.
I can hide it at all.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, I know. And now, Hara, one more thing. So, because she had no teaching experience and she was naive and everything, so how was she as a teacher?
No, I mean, I don't know, but she was really excellent, and she was really, she knew the stuff. She already
Yeah,
knew how I need to, I was in the margin of B1, and then
yeah.
I really needed that push to go to B2 plus, and I got that help I needed from the teacher. So she would always suggest C1, C2 level words and C1, C2 level. I did not need to get C1, but uh, those advanced level of structures and words. She encouraged me to incorporate in my writing and speaking. And yes, her experience was, that's what really helped me with the exam, her recent experience. And yes, she was a brilliant teacher, I would say.
Yeah, nice. Nice, Muskan. Oh,
Thank
time for
you.
raise. Okay. Now the next bit which I want to understand is I think you guys have had this listening thingy also, right? That you scored C2 and in fact, just to let you know, guys, as in the audience, Dilhara has apparently scored way better than Muskan and I did. So she's actually scored way better, even in listening, reading, and writing all of the modules. I did not definitely score C2 in any of the modules, and you had two C2s. Super jealous, super proud. So now we have already discussed this in our podcast and just recently, and also in the chat forum with our own students, that how did you
Mm.
score it. But did Muskan give you some sort of a notes which I am not aware of? You that really helped you a lot or something, because you said this twice, and this is not under my knowledge. So I want to know this is here today.
Yeah, so for speaking and listening, we also did some sessions because I was really struggling with speaking. And one thing she did was in my reading and speaking sessions, she would send me questions beforehand. She wants me to do the questions, and we would discuss our answers in the session. So for reading, whenever I get something wrong, she would ask me, okay, why did you select this? Which line highlights the answer? So for TCF, I think people who are preparing would know the answer would be there in the text, and there's no analyzing and evaluating. It would be right there. So
Yeah.
she would highlight the answer and where to pick. So that kind of training helped me to, quickly read a text and pick the correct answer for the question. Same goes with listening. We would play the recording, and she would say, okay, this is the part where they give the answer. So this is why the answer is
Oh,
this. So
that's a
that,
very good hand holding, I would say. Very good hand
yeah,
holding. And this is something lacks in most of the institutes. Because in most of the institutes, we don't get such personal attention and
personal
also
attention.
such hand holding. Okay, this is where you will get the answer. This is what you
Mhm.
got to listen. And Muskan does take the weekend sessions too. And people do give me a lot of feedback that it's amazing and it's excellent. We get to learn a lot. So which is definitely phenomenal when I see such evolvement. And it is amazing to help lot many people. Now, one question to both of you. I know the answer though, but still I want to know. Dilhara, TEF or TCF, which is easier?
Okay, difficult question, but for me, because I would say it's TCF. Probably because my skills were more into TCF. One thing I wanted to highlight when I was preparing for TEF,
Mm,
again, speaking was difficult, obviously,
mm,
and
mm.
in task two, you have to converse with someone, right?
Yeah,
To convince someone to do something.
yeah.
So when I interact with someone, I tend to get a little nervous and I completely
Mm,
forget, but even the good stuff, I completely forget. So
mm,
it's something, partly my problem, I would say. But
mm,
for TCF in monologue, although it was difficult to speak for 4.5 minutes, although the
mm,
topics were really difficult, I felt
mm,
like, okay, I'm the one who is speaking. I have control. So I would
mhm.
just go on for 4.5 minutes and end it. So I think my fear for that conversing with someone, I think that might have been the reason why, one of the reasons
That
why I switched
mm,
to
to
TCF, because
TCF.
yeah,
Yeah.
that got me really nervous and scared to converse because I probably lacked confidence to speak. But I have to say, for TCF also, you have to converse with someone in task too.
Yeah. Two.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but yes, so
TCF.
Yeah, I would say it's TCF for me, at
For
least.
you. For you. Okay. And Muskan, now you are a trainer. So do not give me a perspective as a student. Give me a perspective as a teacher. So you have two options, Steph, TCF, or both, or you don't have the third option.
To be honest, TCF is not as much interactive. It mostly involves monologue, as Dilhara
Mm,
mentioned, and
mm,
TEF is more interactive. If I had to
mm,
teach, monologue would be really easy
mm,
because you have a set of reasons, we have a set of vocab and
mm,
sentences, a proper like
mm,
in detailed structure. But with TEF, it's very hard to teach because there
mm,
are only some reasons that you can
mm,
foreshadow, right? There are not
mm,
a lot of things that you can understand. Okay,
mm,
the examiner might ask this, they can ask this.
mm,
So it gets a
mm.
little bit tough to train on that reason for
Yeah.
the students. And especially for even for students, it gets harder for them to explain because they are most likely thinking in English, converting it into French. And that makes it a little bit difficult for even them to get what they are trying to say and for me to understand what they are trying to say.
Mm. Cool. Yes, noted. But for me, if I give my opinion, though nobody asked, but still,
Mm.
still, I prefer. I am okay with both actually, because even with TCF, I also face a challenge with some people who lacks a lot of idea and clarity.
Mm.
No matter how much I tell them, okay, this is it, this is it. You can speak this, you can talk about this. They do not. Okay, ma'am. After this, sorry, I don't know what to say. And with
Yeah.
TEF, I can give them a ready-made templates. Please go ahead and memorize.
Mm.
TCF, I cannot because there are so many topics that how much of a monologue I can make them memorize. So for me, it's honestly both TEF,
Yeah.
TCF. I actually decide basis the personality of a student. If somebody who is more monologue person, TCF.
Mhm.
Somebody who is like me, who interrupts, who talks, who speaks a lot, TEF, because
Yeah.
then they can express better, I think. But yeah,
Yeah.
it depends on the person anyway at the final bit. And now that brings me to another question, because I have had somebody posted as a comment as a question that how do you structure your monologue? Because some people do feel lost about it. Like, what
Mm.
is a tip that you will give? Because you scored phenomenally so well. So, what would be your like advice on the monologue? Task 3, TCF speaking.
Okay. So for the monologue, it's super important to have the structure in your head. So
Yeah.
I already had a prepared structure in my mind, like intro, this is the intro I'm using. And it was
Yeah.
the intro I was able to use for probably most of the topics.
Yeah.
And then the first point, this is how I'm explaining the first point, this is how I'm starting to double, and then
Mm.
I explain
The
the point,
explanation.
explain an example. So I had that structure in my head. And there are different ways to approach certain questions in task 3. In some questions, you need to talk about the pros and cons, and in some, you might have to highlight like the causes and
Problem, cause and consequence. Yeah.
cause and consequences.
Yeah.
So that actually, I had a list of questions. Muskan shared with me. Okay, these are the types of questions you might get, and obviously these questions were repeated, were similar, I would say. So I prepared for all these questions, like the structure, and like I said before, I wrote down the entire script sometimes at the beginning. I ended up writing the points then with certain, important words I can use for certain topics, like let's say teletrabai. There are specific words that you have to use. For equality of men and women, there are, like specific important words, which I was missing in my monologue. And you used to constantly say, okay, you are good, but you need to, highlight these words.
Yeah. And sometimes I remember you used to go a little out of track. That,
Exactly.
you know what? I
Yeah.
asked this question and you answered this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of problems with my monologue. And at first, I used to be very nervous. I did not have the correct ideas to talk about.
Yes.
And I was struggling. So I would say have your structure in mind. And if you are struggling with speaking, you can maybe write down scripts. But then by time you will see, okay, you are not going to use it because some topics are very much,
Unique.
It's yeah. So yes, it was. You will see. With time, you will see how you change. And I want to also at one point for speaking, because I did not have a lot of expressions and ideas to talk about some topics. You introduced me. Okay,
Yeah.
ChatGPT is a very good tool you can use. give the prompt and you will get good ideas for your topic. So yeah, I use ChatGPT a lot for my tasks throughout.
Brainstorming.
Yeah, brainstorming. So yeah.
Great. And I also wanted to know what was your intro. So can you give us a little bit of a few lines, please? Because your intro was so amazing. If you don't
okay.
mind.
Yeah, of course. So I use like
Ok, mesdames, présentez-vous, s'il vous plaît.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Dilhara Pereira, j'ai 29 ans. Je suis mariée, je viens de Sri Lanka et maintenant j'habite à Calgary. Je travaille comme assistante dans un établissement scolaire, s'appelle Kumon. Mes tâches incluent de la lecture de textes anglais et de faire des mathématiques avec des enfants. J'aime ce que je fais parce que j'aime l'enthousiasme et l'énergie des enfants. Pendant mon temps libre, je regarde les séries sur Netflix et j'aime faire des randonnées avec mon mari. Ce que j'aime le plus, c'est apprendre les nouvelles choses. C'est l'une des raisons pour laquelle j'ai décidé de faire le test TCF et apprendre la langue française.
Mais pourquoi Canada, mesdames? Why you want to live in Canada?
Ok, c'est une bonne question. J'aime habiter ici au Canada parce que le pays m'offre plein d'opportunités professionnelles et personnelles. En plus de ça, j'aime le paysage. Le pays m'offre des beaux paysages, les montagnes et les lacs. Et
Dilhara, it was a podcast question though. No, it's great, awesome. It feels like you have prepared so much that even if I ask you a question in English, it's like, okay. No, it is great, awesome. I wanted to show it to like all of you guys. Did you see this? Like I asked her a question, why do you want to live in Canada in English? And she was like, okay. So this is the kind of preparation needed to get that golden score. That even if in the night I'll ask Dilhara any question, okay, Dilhara, présentez-vous. So this is how our script going to be, which is just awesome. Okay, Dilhara. So what piece of advice that you would like to give to the world today who is learning French with not so much of motivation, because it's just not the volunteering action in Canada, it's just forced upon on us. So what would you give them as a piece of advice? Because you have come a long way, have such a golden score, enjoying the mountains in Calgary, lovely peaks. So what would you say?
Yeah, first of all, I would advise those who are beginning this journey to, take your time. And definitely you will feel lost, demotivated, and that's okay because everyone feels so, because it's not a fun journey. So try to incorporate French in your daily life, like, listen to your podcasts or maybe read something that you like. For example, I'm not a really book kind of person, but I'm more into, analyzing and analyzing trends and econ related stuff. So I really searched for econ magazines in French. So I used to read them because those words were familiar to me in English. So it was easy for me to understand the content. Do what you like. If you like to listen to music, then you listen to French music, things like that. And then it's important that you invest your money on correct people, because first of all, I didn't get the correct sort of help needed to do the exam. It was such a waste of time and money for me. And it's important you invest your money on the right people and get the correct the help you need to pass the exam. Next, I also want to say that while preparing for TCF, this is an exam, and there are certain things that you need to, I remember a lot of mistakes in my writing and speaking, and you and Muskan were giving me constant feedback, and sometimes the feedback might sound a little harsh, but still I took those feedback seriously, because you need to correct mistakes. It's a language. Constant mistakes would help you correct your mistakes, right?
Grow and improve.
And take the feedback that your teacher gives seriously, and make sure that you correct your mistakes. So yes, I think
that's a
these
very
are
good
some of the tricks I can give people who are starting and maybe
Starting
preparing
now.
for the exam. Yeah.
Exams now, and that the last piece is very, very important. In fact, all of this what you just said is phenomenally well, and they are important. And yes, I even when we give feedback, we also feel that they might feel bad in it, they might feel it's criticized, and it might just take the confidence away. But at the end, it's all worth it, and it's all just meant to make you grow, improve, and get this golden score and this podcast today, which we are on the stage today. And lastly, yes, you there were times when we give feedback, like when I gave it to you as well, I used to say one thing which I still want to say to the audience today: do not repeat the same errors, make new errors. Because if you are repeating the same errors, the class was waste. Then you're not going ahead. I want to elevate your level of progress exponentially. So, but you were fantastic, Dilhara. I have definitely no complaints. But thank you guys for making it possible. Like it's girl power, it's women power, it's just FTCF power, French power, whatever it is. At the end, it's totally worth it. You guys are contributing not only towards the success of the people, like Muskan is doing for Dilhara. Dilhara is doing maybe for many people today by coming onto the podcast. And thank you so much. And through this podcast, we want to motivate all of you guys that it is definitely possible to nail the exam as long as you have the right guidance, you are patient, and you have a full faith in you and in your coach. It is definitely, definitely possible. Please stay tuned, follow for more, like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned. Au revoir.